reaffirm to the people of Nigeria that Nigeria is an important country, not only for ECOWAS, but for the African Union. It is the largest economy on this continent. It is the most populous nation on this continent. And the safety and security of Nigeria is important to every single member of the ECOWAS region. And so we all are stakeholders in this election. It just happens that we don't have a vote, but we have an interest in what happens on election day here in Nigeria. And so for you Nigerians who have the votes, I hope that you rise to the occasion and you'll make all of us proud.
From Barack Obama to the ECOWAS chairman there. And just joining us is another colleague, Cyril Abaku. Cyril, nice to have you on the program.
Of course, it's a pleasure. I think the last time I was there was about 26 or 29 days to go.
I thought you were going to say 26 years ago.
But right about now, it's
about 4 days or thereabout to the elections.
We will be counting hours.
And we are hearing things from different parts of the world, from America to the ECOWAS chairman. Very soon, I don't know if, like Ashomomo said, the president of Gambia will address Nigeria. What do you make of all this?
I mean, you know, squarely, you know, the indictment falls on the Nigerian political class across board. You know, they haven't quite proven that they have come of age. They haven't quite proven that they are sort of 100% worthy of the trust that we should be vesting in them. And I, for one, I'm a bit bothered because does the blame just belong to the to the politicians alone? Don't we as Nigerians also deserve the kind of leadership that we have? You know, but again, their worries are well placed. I have been very vocally condemnatory of these addresses. You know, we're a sovereign nation. We should be able to man and manage our affairs. You know, because of these failures here and there, we have a Barack Obama, we have a John Mahama, you know, talking to us like school principals or headmasters. Can we blame them? Can we not blame them? I think that we ought to prove
they have interest in Nigeria, definitely.
Of course, I mean, you don't need to have interest. And the dimension that, you know, that I fear the most of this is this. A nation that has been so riddled with terrorism recently, you know that from Nigeria already, because of the economic condition, somehow, you know that when people are trying to migrate to Europe, Nigerians migrate a lot. What is the route? Nigeria, Niger, Libya. The issue is that besides Africa itself, even the Middle East is going to be in for it. God forbid, if this implosion happens. So I would just like to appeal to the political class that, look, Nigeria is ours. There has been Nigeria before the elections. There is Nigeria now that there's a, now that there are going to be elections. There will be Nigeria in post-election 2015. Let's make sure that at any point and at any rate, no man's ambition is higher and bigger than the interest of Nigeria.
Now, Shomomo, Barack Obama to the ECOWAS chairman, now to Cyril Abaku. Everybody's addressing Nigeria. What will you tell the political class?
You want me to address them also?
Please.
I think my address will go to Nigerians, the political class, because they are politicians. They have various interests. And like we've seen so far, a lot of their interests are selfish interests. Nigerians own the is to make sure that whatever the political class want to inflict on the system does not work. Now, yeah, they can set up procedure, they can set up plans to cause confusion, they can set up plans to manipulate the system. But you see,
people remain resolute.
If the people remain resolute, you can't force them. So I think Nigerians should realize the kind of power they have. Now, on election day, you will be deciding who. No matter what the president has done, no matter the kind of campaign they've gone through, at the end of the day, it is your vote.
That will determine.
Now, whatever they've told you, whatever amount they've given you in secret, when you go to that place and you enter that cubicle, it's you alone with your ballot paper. So you can choose to pick whatever you desire. So I think Nigerians should realize that they have this power, that if you tick wrongly, nobody has forced you to do it. No amount of money has influenced you, because I can take your money and vote my conscience. So I think we should go to the to the polling booths, we should go to the polling units with this mindset that we want to set up a new order in the system. We want to ensure that, look, this is violence-free. I'm not going to, there's no reason why I should fight you. You're my friend, you're my brother. So we should realize
after
that
the election,
we'll go to the same markets, we'll go to the same offices, we'll go to the same school, we'll run the same business.
So
we should understand that, look, we are all comrades. We're fighting for one thing, and the thing we're fighting for is that we're fighting for the progress of Nigeria. Now, if we're fighting for the progress of Nigeria, they should not make me begin to hurt you. They should not make you begin to hurt me. I think that's a message that Nigerians should embrace.
And again, just to add to what Eshoroma has said, you know that, just to take us a bit back, during the colonial times, we were all concerned about independence. So you had the likes of Zeke, Awu and Co. for independence. After independence came, there was no proper enunciation of a political culture. When we were crying for, for the military to go, the military left. The politicians that came up, the government and the parties, and are not doing enough in terms of political education. Even INEC has not done so much. And that is why
started the media, the television campaign.
How
many hours ago?
Way too belated. And here comes my concern. You know that this campaign thing, because of the interest that are attached to these particular elections, interests are so high. And if you look at the deployment and engagement of social media, we have never seen this big before. When what's it called? When electioneering officially comes to an end, is it Wednesday or Thursday midnight?
Thursday.
The electoral law will be breached because you cannot control what goes on social media, and that is where things go easily viral. I remember as Ajiri was talking in 2011, we saw those pictures and things were happening via social media because people are taking pictures and they were uploading them. I want to appeal. There are minimum partisan handles on Twitter, pages on Facebook, and on Instagram than we have of people who are really out there to seek out the common good. I want to appeal to Nigerians that as we approach the D-Day, let us put Nigeria first before. Otherwise, you'll be thinking of government and thinking of INEC and all of that. It may well be that it is what we do that at the end of the day, yes, we will undermine the process and fuel whatever may come up. So it behoves us. It is either somebody put money in your hands or puts a gun in your hand. What to do with it is up to you. Please don't even take it. Just make sure that, you are aware.
So you talk to them.
That you are aware that the future and sustainability of this nation lies on you. Do you know what my concern is even the more? Some years ago, the US, they may deny it, but semantics won't make us let that just go. We are media men. They say something to the effect that Nigeria will break up this year. Let's not forget about that. And we've been seeing some things happening.
Let's prove them right or wrong.
We need to prove them wrong, and the power to prove them wrong lies with us.
Now, Jide, is it possible now? Before independence, we've been having elections in this country, and every election down the lane has been violent in one form or the other. Is it possible for Nigeria, 50-something years after independence, to have violent-free election? Can we start with this one? Is it possible?
It's difficult. You see, I'm even concerned about violence that takes place after the election. That's what everybody is talking about. Because if you observe what happened, the 2011 election was free and fair. Goodluck Jonathan won easily. I've heard people talk about that. Even, I remember that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu even said it publicly, that look, it was Jonathan that won the election.
You had more than just 2 major candidates. You had about 3 or 4 of them.
It was Jonathan that won the election. Yet people were killed needlessly after the election.
Yes.
It is this feeling that Nigerians don't even value human life that is really worrisome. I was reading The Guardian of the UK, and they were reporting about the Baga massacre by Boko Haram. And the writer said, wow, is it that the African life does not have any value anymore?
It's less valuable than that of...
Because look, how many people died in France? And they had that walk that many of the world's leaders, many world leaders attended. And then about 2,000 people got killed in Baga. And it went, people were acting like nothing had happened.
As if it was another market day.
Yes, as if nothing had happened. That's a lot of people. So 700 people slaughtered in post-election violence in 2011. And we had the Lemu committee. The report, nobody has acted on.
What has happened to that report?
Nobody. President Jonathan
spent taxpayers' money to set up the
panel, paid them with taxpayers' money, paid them allowances with taxpayers' money, but nothing has happened. The report is gathering dust in Aso Rock. how do we learn from our past mistakes? Do we punish electoral offenders? The answer is no. People who are picked up, people who are picked up for committing one electoral crime or the other during the last election, they've not been made to face justice. Even INEC complains that it hasn't got the money to engage lawyers, you know, to prosecute electoral offenders across the country. Those who slaughtered innocent youth corps members last time, how many of them have been sentenced? So, and when you don't punish people for crimes like this, you can be sure that for the 2015 election, they will be standing by that. Look, if I killed 3 people the last time, this time around, I want to double that number. You know, that is the thing. The Sultan of Sokoto made some very, very valid remarks earlier this week. He said the way youth corps members were slaughtered in 2011, that it should never happen again. He said it should never happen again. And I believe that our security agencies and the president, who has the power and the responsibility to protect Nigerian lives, whether they are based in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, should do the needful to ensure that no innocent Nigerian gets killed on election day and after the elections.
Okay, now moving on. The President Goodluck Jonathan, has assured Nigerians that he will give Nigeria a free, fair, and violent-free election. INEC has said the same thing, and we've been hearing things from different quarters. Now, coming back to INEC, INEC told us that some non-sensitive materials should be on their way to each of the 36 states across the nation. We have 4 days to the election. The issue of the card reader, are we foreseeing any issues along the way? Because this is not the first time that we'll be having an election in Nigeria.
Yeah. I think in Osun, INEC perfected their act. They improved on what happened in Ekiti, because in Ekiti there was some logistic challenge in getting those materials, and I think when they also introduced this the registration area centers, the RAG, it helped them out, and we shouldn't have much challenge in this election because you've had a lot of experiment in court. You've had it in Anambra, in Edo, in Ekiti, in Osun, and all those shortcomings you had in those states. It's expected that
you learn from them
and correct them. And you see, moving the materials is the most critical aspect, because it's possible that if accreditation is supposed to start 8 a.m. and the material did not get to the polling units as at 10, 11, you're going to have issues in those areas. And sometimes politicians walk through this process to ensure delay. Remember in Anambra, there were delays. Materials did not get to polling units on time, and it was managed, or stage managed by politicians. And I think this is the aspect that INEC should begin to work on. The partnership we have entered into with the drivers union, and also the partnership with the security agencies. I remember in Ekiti, we were going to I think Firema's place, and we got to a point where we saw INEC officials with their vehicle. They stopped, and we asked them what was happening. They said they don't have any. It was already way past the accreditation time. They said there is no security escort, and that we are not moving further. When I asked them, they said we are not going further until we have escort. I said, why? They said it's dangerous to get to the polling unit without escorts. The people might pound on you, seize those materials. So it's essential that INEC began to work out that aspect with the security agencies. Have sufficient security escort of your material. Have sufficient security escort of your personnel as you move them from the racks, from various racks to the polling units. Ensure that none of these security agencies frustrate your effort, because you might say, look, we have that deal, and at the end of the day, if they don't show up, you'll mess up operation.
Okay, sure. I think we have Umar calling from Kebbi State, right? Kebbi State. Umar, good evening, Umar.
Magaji.
Umar Magaji from Kebbi State, good evening.
Magaji.
Good evening.
Naoni.
Good evening.
Hello?
Hello. Did I get it right?
Yeah, you know it. Yeah.
I'm listening to you now. Now my brother who sitting at the left side, I want to correct him. 2011 election is not the reality.
It's not
what?
And it was going to make a point. I didn't get that.
It wasn't 2011 election.
I didn't get that. The 2011 election is not.
More, if you are still watching, you can try
it's
to
something,
call
but
back.
I didn't hear what he said.
I didn't get that too. I didn't get
Millions
that
of
too. I think it was talking about
because I've been talking about how they
you
kill people
mentioned
in the
2011 election.
It's 2011, a post-election violence.
And
exactly.
about the violence that followed.
You know our people now. Once you criticize them, this was
Can I just chip something in? Because we need to also proffer solutions as to how INEC can, as much as possible, avert violence. If I take a smart card reader to Banana Island or to Victoria Island, and somehow it fails,
not to Mushi and Yanokwaja.
You just hold on, and it fails there. The kind of reaction I will get is not the same if it fails in those places that you've mentioned.
Yes.
And I have said that INEC can work out a measure of assessing substantial compliance. To say that, look, because these things are going to be manned by by humans, and since the smart card reader is may not be 100% in any way, in any case, they can work out a measure of to say if we score so and so measure of compliance in use of card readers, because the truth is this: I worked in Forest in the last election. That place is owned by both Ondo and Osun. I don't know how they do the boundary. But you can have one school here put by Ondo State, and then after there's another school there put by Osun State. And and anecdote that look, nobody will be able to vote twice. I know how as corpers we got about but how we put our lives on the line to defend people that voted.
Sure that.
Now that was there. And even then, you get there, you look for somebody, maybe the bylaw of the town who will give you his balcony or something like that, to stay there, to do all of that. Sometimes, even with the manual system, accreditation takes longer than 12 noon. What I'm just saying is, where things don't work out as fast, as quick as they should do, INEC are telling us that they will come back and vote the following day. That's not what you're going to tell some people to hear. Something as little as that can spark an issue that can, So what I'm just saying is, INEC should have the acts together so well and so good that when the thing is done, when we're done and dusted, we will have gone past every reasonable doubt.
Okay, I think it was Shoma was talking about materials getting to polling units late. In some cases, the INEC staff refusing to move because they don't have security cover. From experience, what happens is when INEC refuses to pay these people, including even its ad hoc staff.
It happened in Anambra.
When you refuse to pay your ad hoc staff, they will refuse to move. They will refuse to move because they know after the election you are going to leave them high and dry. So they would rather take that which belongs to them now.
Before it's too late.
Even if it means holding the election
we have
by ransom.
We have Mohamed Musa calling from Niger State. Hello, Mohamed. Hello, Mohamed. I think something is wrong with the network. Mohamed is out. Now, Jide, moving ahead, President Jonathan said he has given INEC a free hand to operate. To what level can you believe this, trust this?
Yes, to a reasonable extent, at least in terms of providing the funds, because without the funds they can't do anything. You really cannot say that he has not given them a free hand. I think the only blot on the paper really is the postponement of the election. We know that the postponement of the election was not chiefly INEC's idea. It was somebody else's idea. But the reality, if we tell ourselves the truth, is that that postponement has been some form of a blessing because it has enabled INEC to be better prepared. If that postponement had not come, at least 25 million Nigerians would have been disenfranchised. But now we are talking about maybe 13 million PVCs yet to be distributed. So it has afforded them time to improve on their processes, which we expect to see manifest in a properly organized 2015 elections. So I believe that so far INEC has been given a free hand.
Okay. INEC also told us that elections may not hold in Michika and Madagali,
yes,
or so. But the electoral says that for a presidential election must hold in all the 774 local government simultaneously. Are we not seeing a breach at the end of the day?
I don't think it's a breach. Remember, I think also in the Electoral Act, if you have, it's in the Electoral Act, but I don't know if that's the place, if you have crisis in a particular area, you can't talk about election. Election can be deferred in those areas and another time fixed. So what I'm saying is that if you have crisis in a particular area, that's, if it's true, you can't hold the remaining over 700 probably local governments to ransom because you have a substantial level of insecurity in particular areas, and that is critical. And I think it's in the wisdom of INEC, they've looked at it. Yeah, there's been a substantial improvement in the level of mopping up that is ongoing by the military. But even if you go to those areas you want to conduct election, can you trust that the polling staff can function in there? Now, if the polling staff can go there to function, are you sure that the people will come out to vote? You see, we shouldn't, because of election, endanger the lives of the people. These are innocent Nigerians that not even voted. They are polling officials that will be there to man it. Now, will you take them to risky zone because of election? And I think we can go on in other areas, and maybe we'll come back to those areas.
No, I think INEC has even devised a way to ensure that they vote. Those people who have their elections in the IDPs.
Okay, in the camps.
In the camps for the internally displaced persons. Even in Yobe State, the two local governments that the Nigerian Army liberated, Gujiba and Guliani, now the people have returned home. In fact,
I learned there was a rally there.
Yes, the APC held its first rally in a liberated community in Bara. Yesterday, Bara is in Yobe State, in Gujuba local government. But they've been told that they will have their own elections in Fika, you know, near Portiscum. So they won't have to hold elections in that place.
Yeah, Jide, I think we have to go at this point. I must sincerely thank you for appearing on the show today. Shomomo Imodu,
thank you
nice
so
to
much.
have you.
Yeah.
Cyril, after 26 years or 26 days, it's nice to have you back again. And Jide, thank you very much. As usual, Monday through Friday is not an easy thing. And a very quick reminder to our viewers out there, TVC will be on the ground in about 30 states or so. Jide, we'll be covering the election. I'll be giving it to you as events unfold in those states. If you're interested in watching Nigeria's election from the comfort of your living room, the only place to get such information from is Television Continental. Stay with us on TVC. And that's our package on the program today. Do join us again same times tomorrow as we look at other important issues regarding the forthcoming general elections in Nigeria. My name is Opa. Again,